Now again starting the chapter states of matter. Now we will include the topics here: Dalton's law of partial pressure, kinetic molecular theory of gases, Maxwell-Boltzmann distributions of molecular speed. First of all, going for the Dalton's law of partial pressure. This law was formulated by John Dalton in 1801. It deals with the pressure exerted by a mixture of non-reacting gases enclosed in a vessel. Dalton's law of partial pressure states that the total pressure exerted by a mixture of two or more non-reacting gases in a definite volume is equal to the sum of the individual pressure which each gas exerts if it occupies the same volume alone at a constant temperature. For example, if there are three gases and they exerted pressure P1, P2 and P3 respectively on the walls of the container, and we denote these P1, P2, P3 as a partial pressure, then the total pressure when these gases are mixed together at the same temperature will be equal to your P1 plus P2 plus P3. The partial pressure of each gas means the pressure which that gas would exert if present alone in the vessel at the same temperature as that of the mixture. We can express partial pressure in the term of mole fraction also. The moles of the substance in a mixture as a fraction of total moles of all the substances. If suppose N1 is the mole of any substance which is present in N mole of the mixture, then the mole fraction X1 will become X1 equal to N1 upon total number of moles of that substance mixture, that is N. So for a mixture of two substances A and B having moles Na and Nb respectively, Xa is equal to Na upon Na plus Nb and Xb will be equal to Nb upon Na plus Nb. At temperature T, the three gases enclosed in a volume V exert partial pressure of P1, P2 and P3 respectively. Then P1 is equal to nRT upon V according to the ideal gas equation. P2 will be N2RT upon V and P3 will be N3RT upon V. So P total will be P1 plus P2 plus P3. As a result, it will be N1RT upon V plus N2RT upon V, N3RT upon V, where R, T and V are constant. Therefore, N1 plus N2 plus N3 in a bracket we have RT upon V. On dividing P1 by total, that will be P1 upon P total equal to N1 upon N1 plus N2 plus N3, and the other terms will be cancelled. P1 upon P total will be your N1 upon N, and that is your X1, and we know that X is the mole fraction. The partial pressure exerted by the gas will be equal to the mole fraction of that gas into the total pressure exerted when all the gases are present together. Therefore, the partial pressure of the gas in the mixture is the product of the mole fraction and total pressure of the mixture. We can go for the application of Dalton's law. It is useful in calculating the pressure of the gas collected over water in a lab. The mixture of the gas and water vapor has a total pressure equal to the atmospheric pressure when water level is same inside and outside the vessel. So P atmosphere is equal to P total, and here we are having partial pressure of oxygen plus partial pressure of high water vapors. So partial pressure of oxygen will be equal to P atmosphere minus P vapor pressure, and pressure due to the water vapor is called aqueous tension. Kinetic molecular theory of gases. The various gas laws discussed earlier were based upon experimental observation. There was no theoretical background to explain them. The scientists have also been curious to know why the system is behaving in a particular way. In order to account for the observed behavior of gases, a model was proposed which takes into account molecular concept as well as the kinetic concept of the gas molecule, and it is named under the kinetic molecular theory of gases. The postulates of kinetic molecular theory are: All gases are made up of very large number of minute particles called atoms and molecules, because we know that matter is made up of small particles called atoms and gas is a part of matter. Therefore, gases are also made up of very small particles. The molecules are separated from one another by large distance. This means the gas molecule has a large space between them, and this can be proved as the gas are highly compressible and they also have a tendency to expand indefinitely. If they don't have a space between them, they cannot be compressed as the solids. Third postulate is the molecules are in the state of easelessness and random motion in all the direction. So, if the particles were at rest, then the gas would have fixed shape, but the shape of the gas is indefinite. Therefore, the particles are in the state of random motion or the zigzag motion. There is no force of interaction between the molecules at ordinary temperature. This is because on releasing the external pressure, the gas again expands back to its original shape. The pressure exerted by the gas is due to the collision of its molecules on the walls of the container per unit area, and we know that pressure is force upon area. Force per unit area is known as pressure. So whatever the force exerted by the gas molecule on the wall of the container is that will be equal to the pressure exerted by the gas on the container. The average kinetic energy of the gas molecule is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. Due to the molecular collision, the different molecules have different speeds. As a result, the molecules have different kinetic energy. Under these circumstances, it is assumed that average kinetic energy is directly proportional to the absolute temperature, which is given by the formula PV is equal to 1 by 3 m n U square, where n is the number of molecule, m is the mass of the molecule, v is volume, and u is the velocity of the molecule. Now, other gases laws can be explained by this kinetic molecular theory of gases, and here we are having the first Boyle's law. According to the Boyle's law, pressure is inversely proportional to the volume at constant temperature. But according to the kinetic molecular theory, the pressure exerted by a gas is due to the striking of the molecule of the gas on the walls of the container. Therefore, the pressure depends upon the number of collision per unit area. With the same temperature, the kinetic energy of the molecules remain the same. If we increase the volume, the chances of hitting the volume by the molecule decreases. So as a result, the number of collision per unit area decreases, and with the increase in volume, pressure of the gases decreases. Hence, in this way, the kinetic energy also proves the Boyle's law. Then there comes the Charles law, which states that volume is directly proportional to temperature at constant pressure. That means as the temperature increases, volume of the gas also increases by keeping the pressure constant. According to the kinetic molecular theory, when the temperature of the gas increases, the kinetic energy also increases. As a result, velocity of the particles increases. Therefore, they are going to hit the wall of the container more and more, due to which the pressure increases. But in Charles' law, pressure has to kept constant. Therefore, we have to increase the volume. In this way, V1 and T1 are the earlier initial volume and initial temperature. As the temperature increases, the chance of heating the wall of the container by the molecule will increase as the kinetic energy of the particles is increasing. But we have to keep the pressure as constant. Therefore, we have to increase the volume so that the number of hitting collision with the walls decreases. Then there comes the Dalton's law. According to Dalton's law, pressure exerted by the non-reacting gases to mixture is equal to P1 plus P2 and so on. The pressure of the gas is due to the striking of the gas molecules on the wall of the collision of the container. Because of the absence of intermolecular force of attraction between the molecules of each gas, they strike the wall of the container individually as they don't have any force of attraction between them. So each Each of the gas molecules are hitting the wall of the container independently. As a result, the total pressure will be the sum of all the individual collisions. Then there comes the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution of molecular speed. What a gas consists of tiny particles, it may be atoms or molecules separated from one another by a large empty space. These particles are constantly moving in all the direction. During their motion, they collide with one another and also with the wall of the container. As a result of the collision, the speed and the direction of the molecules go on changing. Therefore, all the molecules present in a given sample of a gas do not have the same speed. The speed of the individual molecules are different and are distributed over a wide range. Even if all the particles had same speed initially, due to the molecular collision, they will have different speed. The speeds of different molecules also go on changing. However, the distribution of speeds among different molecules remain the same at a particular temperature, although the individual speed of the molecules may change. Therefore, the fraction of the molecules with a particular speed remain constant, and this is known as distribution of speed and also as Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law, and the curve is known as Maxwell's distribution curves, which shows that the fraction of molecules with very low or very high speed is very small, whereas the fraction of molecule having higher and higher speed goes on increasing till it reaches to a peak and then it starts decreasing. That peak value will have the maximum fraction of molecule having the same speed, and the speed corresponding to the peak in the curve is known as most probable speed, or the most probable speed of the gas is the speed having by the maximum fraction of gaseous molecule at a constant temperature at a given temperature. So as the temperature increases, the gases will have more and more kinetic energy. Consequently, the value of most probable speed increases with increase in temperature. In fact, the entire distribution curve shifts toward the right as the temperature rises. And that's all for the Maxwell distribution.